Hey, what's up, guys? Peace and blessings. So, welcome back to my live real talk with your girl, Ladydee. How are you guys doing? Hope you all are doing great. Sorry about that delay, guys. I was caught up doing some stuff. Hope you all are enjoying your day or your day from work. Had a good day today. We're going to go ahead and get into this show tonight, guys. As you can see right here by the title, we're going to talk this time about the Scots. Yes, doing their thing. As you can see right there, it looked like they are trying to put Love and Marriage Huntsville on the map. Like I said, that's the way that they had started out. So they're going to try to see if they can go ahead and revamp it. And as you can see right there, Carlos King, he is very happy. Hi, Starbucks. How are you doing? Thank you. She says, love your intro. I'm just trying out things. You know how I used to do my videos, used to do some great videos, but I have gotten so used to doing this live. So, guys, yeah, we're going to go ahead and talk about this because, like I said, I'm going to do a recap when Love and Marriage come on, which I think is going to be April the 8th. So I'm going to be right there trying to give y'all, at least unapologetic and unbiased, because you know how it is, but in here, like I said, if you can't stand the heat, you got to get out the kitchen because my my channel is not for everyone. Okay. Not everyone could sit there and chew the meat and spit out the bones. But I'm going to go ahead into my commentary, guys, because like I said, I try to stay on at least an hour. So I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and do that. But before I get into my commentary, guys, make sure you go ahead and hit like, comment, and share these videos for more unapologetic content. So before I go on, I want to go ahead and talk a little bit. I don't know if you guys saw this right here with Tasha K. Now you know good and well before Tasha K, she's a lot. She went down, well, flew to Atlanta, go ahead and talk to the side chick. This is a side chick that she said, I'm gonna go ahead and say allegedly, that she was dating Latasha on Escape, her husband. And she also had said that she was pregnant. Yeah, she was pregnant for Latasha's husband. And I'm going to go ahead and say allegedly, but this right here is a little too much, and like I said, guys, we know that it have a lot of opportunists out there. And when it comes to the black man is already counted like sheep for the slaughter. And if you got a lot to lose, you have to be careful. You have to be careful, which, like I had told you all, I think when it comes to this generation right here is totally different from when our generation. I think this generation right here, when they go and jump the broom, they should put in their contract, have an open relationship. Or maybe, like I said, we now, it's not for me, if polygamous or whatever, like I said, whatever float they boat. If we can have children, babies, can go ahead and do the things that they're allowing them to do, then when it comes to a man, if he can go ahead and take care of more than one woman and they happy with, whatever, then each his own. That's just how I look at it. Hi, Linda. I see Linda is in the house. Yes, guys, welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D. Yes, guys, I'm gonna go ahead into my commentary. As you can see right here, when it comes to the Scots are doing their thing, and I know for sure that Carlos King, he is very happy. Let me go ahead and move this, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this on right here. Yes, we know that Carlos King is very, very happy. So I guess that little pep talk that he did, when he flew down to little Huntsville, I guess it went ahead and paid off, which, I am so glad that they're going to go ahead and get it back on track. And as you can see right here, Carlos, like I said, that's pretty much his baby, Love and Marriage in Huntsville, even though Melody was the one that went ahead and pitched the show. But like I said, at the end of the day, she's not cutting those checks, okay? But as you can see, look like new big things is going to happen, and I'm happy for him. This is a reality show that's been like almost 5 seasons, going on 6 right here, and it was started out with 3 powerful African American couples. They say that they were friends. They all was in real estate, and they all had a group called the Comeback Group. Trying to go ahead and put Huntsville on the map. And the way that they tried to put Huntsville on the map for 5 seasons, I guess that was embarrassing. That was a disgrace. But I'm glad that now they able to, come back and revamp. So let me go ahead and like I said, a lot of stuff, hurt people. But Tisha, and the Scots, as you can see right there, which I had talked about it several times on my videos, that they have everything that they need in the house. They can build a Black Wall Street right there in Huntsville, because Tisha, she has an MBA. Marcel, they all have their little realtor, they Stokes, they in company. Mars, what's his name? Maurice. He's an attorney, and he also do credit repairs. Kimmy, she's in real estate. Everything that they need is under the house, in the house. And I just hope that they be, very wise, especially when it comes to outsiders, because people, they are not happy because of your success. It have a lot of joy killers. And I'm so glad when it comes to when it came to Tisha, she didn't let the outsiders affect her, especially when it comes to her marriage. Like she said, at the reunion, what you guys want me to do? You want me to just go ahead and leave my husband just because someone said that they was messing with my husband, but yet after 5 seasons, all you saw was the back of my husband? Do you want me to leave my husband, my family? And if she would have left her family, her husband, just because of those lies, she wouldn't be able to build what she building today. That's just a trick of the devil. He hates to see when you success, especially Black people. And I'm not saying, white people. I'm talking about my people. It's like we hate to see other people blessed, not knowing when they are blessed, you are blessed. And I was reading a lot of comments out there where people say, "Oh my God, we don't want to see this. This is going to be boring." If you think of seeing how Black people, Black entrepreneurs building up their entire community, and you calling that boring, to me, that was just like a punch in the gut, just to show that when it comes to our people, some of our people, they are lost. Because you rather watch all that drama, how men is going around sleeping with side chicks, the women sitting there doing all types of stuff. And do you call that entertainment? Come on, it's time for us to go ahead and wake up. And I truly believe if they come back and they do what they set up to do, people gonna watch that, because people wants to see stuff like this. That is not boring. And I'm glad to see that they coming together, the Scots. And even I was hearing in a chat I was in, they say Destiny. Yes, Destiny is back. Destiny, she is going to be a part of this group. Now, I don't know if they're going to call it the Comeback Group or whatever they're going to call it, or maybe Scopes might, the Scots might just keep it Scopes. But Destiny, she's going to be a part of it. So all that stuff that you guys had heard that Destiny was fired and all this other stuff. No, they are coming together and they're going to build with or without. And I'm so glad, guys. I don't know about you, but I am glad. I am ready to go ahead and see this. I see Hot and Pop says, Linda, hey lady is boring, the watch bag biting. I don't know what she's talking about. But like I said there and say, they're gonna say stuff like that is boring. Lady, boring to watch backbiting. Yes, I wish Mel would have been very careful when it came to the outsiders. Yes, because you have to realize, and like I said, I cannot tell you guys nothing that I haven't been through myself. When people see your success, they want your life, and you get caught up in it because now you growing, you helping your community, and all eyes are on you, and people, they depend on you. And some people, they are not going to celebrate your success. A lot of people, I call them joy killers, or crabs in a barrel. They hate to see other people succeed. And people are assigned to your life, whether you believe it or not, to sabotage you. People are assigned to your life to set you up. And the higher you get, the more devils that gonna be there. You ever heard the higher you are, the devil is right there? Yeah, because what he's trying to do, he's trying to pull you down. He's trying to take your dream. He's our dream killers. And the thing about it is that our people, we fall for that trap. We fall for that bait. And that's exactly, what was trying to happen with Letitia and Marcel. They threw everything that they can to sabotage, to break up their marriage. Now, but just think about it. If she would have gave into it and listened to what all these naysayers saying, she's weak, she's stupid, she's slow, she wouldn't be able to do what she's doing today. If she would have went ahead and listened to these people, some of them that don't have a pot to, and a window to go ahead and throw it out of. Okay, people gonna try everything that they can to sit there and take you off of your vision, because all eyes are on you. I see Linda said, Hot and Poppy, in my opinion, this is a fake storyline. I don't think this right here, when it comes to the Scots building, as you can see right there, they are breaking ground. So this right here, this is not a fake storyline, because they are making it happen. They are making it happen. And also, I saw where, let me see if I can go ahead and find it. This is not fake. This is not fake at all. But let me see if I can find this part right here where even Carlos King say Letitia Moore, Money Scott. These people are doing it. They are about business. They're not about all that drama. I believe that they're gonna do good. And I was trying to see where. Let me see if I can find this part right here, because I don't think that I went ahead and put it up. Let me see. But like I said, it is what it is, guys. Ain't nobody mad but the devil. I see Linda sit there and say, them Rockets been there 3 years now. I'm with you. You've been watching longer than D. I've been watching since day one. I don't know who she's talking about, but I've been watching the show from day one. I used to blog about it all the time, but I just stopped blogging about it. And the reason why I stopped, because it was draining. I mean, this right here, what we were seeing, all that garbage, every season that it would come on. I mean, it's like they was just beating a dead horse. It was like, it was just enough is enough. And now, I guess because they all came together and they all, talk when with what's his name, Carlos King, they are bringing the group back to what it started. It started off where they pitched the show because of a comeback group of all, like I said, all Black entrepreneurs, friends coming together, building in that community. And the minute when all lights and cameras came on them, they wanted to sit there and be the star of the show. That's what I think. Instead of being a team, one wanted to be a star, because I truly believe, just like Carlos King has said in so many words, that Mel, the first season, some of the stuff she should have kept to herself until, but everything was centered around Melody and Martell drama. I've been watching day one every single show. I've been watching it too, but the thing about it is that I watched it as a reality show. I didn't watch it like, I wanted to get into these people personal business where it's just some people, I mean, they just totally insane. I mean, just slumming on these people personal page and stalking their business and going on Yap and giving them bad reports, going into their business. And I mean, to me, that was just too much. And when I was watching it just because it was a show. These people are getting paid to perform. So so many people are so caught up in this show. Now I believe now that they have revamped, maybe Oprah Winfrey might pay a visit to little old Huntsville if she's seen them doing some positive things, which I truly believe that they will. Because this right here, guys, this is awesome. This is awesome. Like I said, everything that they have is right there in the house. And even Kimmy, I saw Kimmy. I don't know if you guys watch this show. It comes on OWN. It's like they finding houses for people like with low income. I saw I saw Kimmy on that show as well, where she was a realtor and she was helping young couples, to find homes. So I truly believe that these people, they gonna do it. And if people want to call that bored and boring, then you got a problem. You got a problem. And Letitia, she's very educated, and now she's going to go ahead and put it to use. Like I said, ain't nobody mad but the devil. That's exactly how I look at it, guys. um Thrifty right, let Tisha continue. Mel too smart. Well, like I said there and say, and that's the thing about it, is that we try to sit there, and I know we all have our favorite, but the thing about it is that we pitting them against each other. And most of all this stuff, that's that drama, is because of they feeding it off of social media. Because half of the stuff that we be talking about, it's not on that show, it's on social media. And I think it's more of the fans and the bloggers. They are the ones that really, stir in the pot, because like I said, it's a lot of jealousy. And, because everybody wants to be the star of everything. But like I said there and say, the first is going to be last and the last is going to be the first. And as you can see right here, the last is raising up from the bottom, because, Tisha and Marcel and Maurice, the Scots, they got it going on. They, as you can see right there, they are ready to go ahead and move forward, because it's enough of, we want to see a reality show of, trying to sabotage someone's marriage. Come on, guys, get real. Enough is enough. Hot and Poppin says, I watched Mel try to help Tisha. Tisha pinned us against her. I don't understand. Well, like I said there and say, how Tisha pinned you guys against Mel. I don't understand, because first of all, Mel did some grimy stuff. Whether you guys want to accept it or not, Mel did some grimy stuff, because, like I said, hurt people hurt people. And I don't know if Tisha and Marcel is going to go ahead and let it go, which I don't think that they're going to go ahead and let it go, and just focus on their business. But Mel did some grimy stuff. Mel, she had no right to poke holes into Tisha's and Marcel's relationship. So if Tisha and Marcel wants to go dirty with them, all they have to do is go and get Ariane Curry on that show, which will be Mel's worst nightmare. And Mel would deserve it. She would deserve every bit of it. And the reason why Mel would deserve it is because the way that Mel went after their a marriage. Like I said, hurt people hurt people. So if Ariane Curry comes on that show, then like I said, it's a part of Martell's storyline. He had a child for hers, a baby. So if she come on, like I said, what Mel said, when they go low, she take it to hell. And this right here is hell. This is going to be pure hell. Sometimes you have to be careful how you open these doors, because when you open those doors, you might not want to see what's going to face you. Like Nene Leakes once said, you never win when you play dirty. And that's absolutely right. You never win when you play dirty. And like I said, when it comes right here, I say somewhere lies the truth. Martell and Melanie Holtz had um, separated, due to all this ongoing cheating and all this other stuff. And they've been divorced like 3 years. So it's time for them to go ahead and move on. It's time for them, because no way that we can continue seeing these two fighting with each other. It's like wringing an old dirty dish rag, beating a dead horse. Nobody don't want to see that anymore. We want to see what you guys had pitched this show. You pitched this show as a comeback group of black people coming together, and that's exactly what we want to see. Now, if anybody say that's boring, then trust me, that something got to be wrong with you. You need to go ahead and check yourself, because that's exactly what we want to go ahead and see. Miss Lily said Ariane has said that Marcel was talking to her sister, so Ariane has ammunition for the Scots also. Okay, let me go ahead and let Lily up, because Lily came, I think it was the other day, she and I talked. So if anybody else want to come up, guys, you have to cam up. But Lily, you don't have to cam up. And if I know you, you don't have to cam up. So Lily, you're welcome to come on if you want to. So we can go ahead and talk about all this right here. So I went ahead and I dropped the link. So if you want to come up, you are welcome to come up. But Lily has said, Ariane has said that Marceau was talking to her sister. So Ariane has ammunition for the Scots also. But like I said there and said, when it comes to all this right here, hi Lily, how are you?
I am good, thank you.
Yes, I see where you had dropped a comment where you said Ariane had said that Marceau was talking to her sister, so Ariane has ammunition for the Scots also.
Yeah, so some time ago she done a live, and she made reference. This was a long time ago, but she made reference to the fact that when she was seeing Martell, that Marcel has been speaking to her sister also. So it sounds as if, and I think Mel made reference to it around Martell cheating and potentially the Scots being involved, the men, I should say. So potentially Ariane has been around these other men and witnessed them do things. So if she was to come to the show, potentially she may have information about what Marceau and his brother Maurice have been doing also.
Hmm. Well, I think that I believe that he did cheated on her. I definitely do, because, like I say, some men does cheat, but I wouldn't leave my husband behind it. Go ahead and get some therapy. Now, if he's sitting there, and he's taken out of the home, and then we have a problem. But like I said, if she's happy, then at the end of the day, she the one got to go ahead and live with him. That's how I look at it. And as you can see right there, they are doing some great things. To see that they are building their business, and the economy, as she was saying, in Huntsville is very, very low, but they have plenty of business. They are doing great, so they are striving. And like I say, half of the people that's on the outside looking in, they only want what they have, and if they give into it, then all they're gonna do is just try to go ahead and just tear them apart, tear their vision and everything that they got. So I wouldn't even go ahead and focus on what Ariane, got to say. And I don't
I
even
don't,
think,
I don't, I don't think I'm focused on it. I think I was
Mhm.
just more making reference to what you were saying around
Yes.
the impact if she was to come onto the show. I think it would potentially have a impact not just on Mel, it potentially would have an impact on other people on the
Yeah.
show. And in reference, I think you was making a point to suggest that I don't know when it comes to the whole situation with I think Tisha has made reference to Mel coming for her marriage or trying to, destroy what she has with Marcel or whatever. Not. I think at the same time, on the flip side of that, um, it's known or it's been put out there that Marcel was, I don't want to say assisting Marcel to cheat, but kind of covering up and aiding him in some ways to manage his affair. So to some extent, exactly what uh, Tisha is accusing Mel of, Marcel has actually done that within Mel's marriage to Martel.
Hmm. So what you think about their, trying to go ahead and revamp the show, start it, back to its original
They
state?
need to. They need to. I think what's happened with the show is it's become, I suppose, season after season, you're seeing the same dynamic presented over and over again. You're seeing a situation roll out with Mel and Martel around the demise of their relationship and all the conflicts and stuff that's been coming with that on social media and on the show. But also, there's been a theme of it feels as if a lot of the cast seem to be against Mel. And to some extent, I do think there are times when Mel is trying to separate herself and move away from that narrative, but then other people on the show continue to speak about her or their relationship issues with her. To some extent, it's not always relevant, and actually, you would like to see from those others, the other cast members, a bit more about what's going on with them, their own businesses, their own families, and all of them have their own families. Kimmy has an adult son, Maurice has his son, they'd obviously have extended family. The same with Marcel and Letitia; they have their own kids, their own extended family. It would be good to see those kind of relationship dynamics rather than them constantly speaking about. If they're not speaking about Marcel, they're speaking about Mel, mainly about Mel, and whether it's their distaste for her or issues between her and Marcel. It just seems like that kind of conversation continues to go on and on, and I just think it's pointless at this point.
So you say a lot of people speaks on Mel. What people and what are they saying about her? That's what I want to know.
Well, I think from what I viewed on the show, some of the times they're speaking about Mel and the dynamic between her and um, Martel. Sometimes they're just speaking about their own issues that they have with Mel, and sometimes it's not actually relevant because for a long time now, Mel has stopped kind of interacting with them as a group. So sometimes you kind of feel like they're bringing up old things that, so for example, the issues with Letitia and Mel, and Letitia saying that Mel has had some level of impact on her marriage, tries to destroy her marriage. She's talking about something that happened a very long time ago, but it was still being played out at the recent reunion. She was speaking about this person that Mel was supposedly going to be bringing on the show, and there'd been accusations around this person potentially cheating with Marceau. That had happened a very long time ago, but it was still being brought into present day, and I didn't really see the relevance of it because it was done and dusted. It had been already aired out on social media, so there was really no point
Mhm. But
to it.
don't you think that Mel was the one that brought her business out? Like I said, you put it out, you have to, that people going to go ahead and they're going to, tear it apart. They're going to,
No, yeah,
because
no.
Mel
So,
brought her
so
own business out. So
yeah, mm,
most of the stuff is because of Mel, and that's what I'm trying to, figure out. Everybody is saying that, it's the other cast is jumping on Mel, but it looked like, Mel is the one that was digging up all these old bones and trying to throw everything at all the rest of them. Now, like I said, that's what I saw. So
I
I'm
think
trying to
my
figure out
perspective,
what
yeah.
did Keisha do to the point of Mel where Mel wanted to destroy her marriage. What did
I
Keisha
see,
do?
and I
Give
think
me
that's a
one
narrative.
thing. Give me one thing that
Mm.
we can go ahead and pull up. That's facts that Tisha did to Martel, not Martel, to Melody to no return. One thing. Can you tell me?
Well, I think some, and obviously we don't know what, the ins and outs of it. We only know what's being presented on social media and the show. But the sentiment that I'm getting is that to some extent, prior to or throughout the show, there's been some level of, in my view, there's a dynamic that plays out between Mel and the other women on the show. And it's almost as if, to some extent, they haven't really been there for Mel in terms of what she's gone through in terms of the demise of her marriage. And to some extent, it's also felt as if, and you can see elements of it that everyone knew what was going on. And as I said, to some extent, Marceau was participating in it. Ariane was being brought around the men separately to the women. It's like everyone knew. So for Mel, she may feel betrayed by the whole group.
And
Um,
I understand that part because you and I we talked
yeah,
about that last time.
yeah,
But
yeah.
Tisha, she didn't know either because Tisha,
I
you
think she
remember
did.
at the reunion
Yeah,
when they all got busted because I think Ariane had put out of a picture and showed that all the men was out that night together and Ariane was there. But like I said,
yeah.
when you see a bunch of men together, men gonna be men, and I don't care what people try to say, men is gonna be men, especially when they are straight men, they're gonna be men. But so you don't expect a man to sit there and go and rat on another man to his wife. A man is not gonna do that. So now a woman
So
would do
the
that,
the, the,
but a
the,
man would
the,
not
the
do
thing
that.
is, but the thing is, it wasn't in, so in reference to, Marceau in particular. At the end of the day, it wasn't just that. It wasn't a case of Martel brought this person that he was seeing around the group, and they kind of just turned a blind eye to it. Marceau was actively involved in helping Martel to cover up the situation. So I think there was a bit more activity than that. It wasn't a case of, oh, we're just gonna forget that she's here and just continue to do what we're doing as men, and she's just there in the background. They were actively having a relationship. Ariana said herself, and Martell's confirmed it, that relationship was ongoing. So for some time, that group of men, in my view, were actively aware of what was going on. And at the end of the day, if Mel is someone who they have a relationship with, they're going to her home, all the children are playing together, they're having business together. To some extent, you have to put aside bro code, and to some extent, you need to be either pulling your friends aside and telling them, this is wrong. I just don't, some of the mentalities or the behaviors, I think for me, it just doesn't resonate with me. I don't understand it. I don't understand how you can have close relationships with someone, be going to someone's house, sharing money, sharing your life, sharing a lot of time with someone, and in the backdrop, you're supporting your friend to cheat or cover up his cheating on his wife.
Mhm. Well, like I said, it's time for them to go ahead and move on with that. And
Yeah,
I
definitely.
remember where they were saying that Mel did not want it to go and film with any of the women. She didn't want it to film, especially with the Scots. And I guess most likely that's why Carlos King went down there to Huntsville. If Melody she wanted to go ahead and leave the show, then I guess most likely that's why they went ahead and brought in Sheree Whitfield and hooked her up with Marcel. But now I'm hearing, I don't know if you heard this right here, where they said that Kimmy and Melody have fallen out. Have you heard anything about that?
Not necessarily. I have seen it on social media recently. I don't know where the source is from, and they've been basically saying that, Melody still tried to be there for Kimmy while she's going through her health difficulties and treatments. If they have fallen out, at the end of the day, adults fall out, don't they? They have relationship difficulties. And for me, given all the things that have played out, I would, if I was in Melody's position, I would find it difficult to have relationships with any of them due
Yeah,
to lack of trust. Because if you're
yeah.
going to be friends with people, and especially I think on the reunion, what was quite telling is that Mel highlighted the fact that um, Kimmy's Kimmy's husband Maurice was almost trying to minimize their friendship. Um, and at some point, Kimmy kind of not over talked Maurice, but tried to highlight, yes, that Mel had been there for her. But it's almost as if Maurice was trying to downplay the level of friendship that Mel and Kimmy were having. So if Kimmy is surrounded by people who are kind of anti Mel, how can Mel trust that situation? And I think what I was saying on your last show is that sometimes when you have relationships with people and you fall out with one person, if they were surrounded by family members that don't like you, it's going to be very difficult for you to have a relationship with that person.
Hmm. I see where Thrifty Girl Calf says that. What if? Let me put my glasses on. She says, "What did Melody fault?" Can you see it? She
Yeah,
said,
was it Melody's fault that Letitia found a semi-nude
"Tisha."
picture in Marceau's cell phone? We cannot blame every negative thing about the Scots marriage.
Hmm.
So, and that's true. I don't know if you saw that in terms of the last reunion. It made there was a
Hmm.
well, it was brought to the surface that via Kiki
And when it comes to
And
that
Letitia
picture,
confirmed it.
yeah, yeah. And when it comes to that picture right there, it says, "What it Melody fault that Letitia found a semi-nude picture in Marcel's cell phone. We cannot blame every negative thing about the Scots marriage." Um, when Tisha had found that in her husband's phone,
Mm.
who to say that the boys didn't do that? Who would say that? It was just his back. So just because you see a back of Marcel's,
No, it
Marcel,
wasn't. It wasn't the back. It wasn't the back picture. So
yeah,
basically,
it was
in the
just his back,
reunion,
right? That's all I saw was a
no,
back.
no. So that I
What it
don't think
was?
that's what I don't think that's what 50 Girls Cafe is making reference to at
I
the
think she's talking
reunion.
about that. When I think she's talking about the picture that Letitia had of her husband's back. He was laying down in
No,
the bed. I think that's what she's
no.
talking about.
I think she's talking about a picture that at the last reunion, Kiki highlighted the fact. It basically there was a conversation. The presenter was asking Letitia, does she think Marcel has cheated on her? And she said no. And Kiki confirmed that Letitia had gone through Marcel's phone and found an inappropriate photo of a woman which he had liked. This woman had sent the photo to him, and apparently this was
Yeah,
a
yeah, I
prospective
remember that. I remember
employee.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, I
So that
remember
has
that.
nothing to
Yes,
do with anyone. So basically,
yes.
what people are trying to say, there are indicators that now who knows if Marcel's cheated? No one's ever come forward and
Mhm,
said, "Oh, I'm his side chick," or "We had a
mhm.
relationship." But there's been elements throughout the show that people believe that Marcel's cheated. Another element has been that him and Maurice they both went and got vasectomies behind their wives' backs without
Yeah,
giving them notice. So
yeah, I
they're
remember
like,
that.
especially with Maurice, given Kimmy's age, she's an older woman. People were questioning why would you need to get a vasectomy because clearly you're not going to be having children potentially given that Kimmy's age and your age, so why would you need to go and get a vasectomy and why wouldn't you have that discussion with your wife anyway?
Yeah, I
So
remember
yeah,
when m- who that was. That was Maurice. Yeah, Maurice was when it was
yeah,
trying to accuse Maurice and saying at the reunion because they brought it out that they were saying at night that Maurice, he had women, they had some type of sort of party or whatever you want to call it, orgy party or whatever, in his, upstairs in his business. And Marcel, Maurice had said, if this rumor is keep going on, that he's going to start suing people. And I don't
yeah,
blame him because you are affecting these people business. So if you putting all this stuff out saying that these people are having parties, you know at their business, like the men is cheating, with the over their wives in their business, it's time for them to start suing these bloggers and these fans, the ones that's putting all that information out. Because as you can see right here, when it comes to the Scots got it going on. I believe that they going to be the ones to build Huntsville up. And a lot of people, they are jealous. Like I said many times, jealousy is crueler than the grave. Jealousy will keep their eyes on their prey until they go ahead and try to take them out. And if they allow all these rumors, trust me, to tear down everything that they're trying to build up, then they don't deserve nothing. Because no way in the world that I will allow these rumors to sit there and tear everything that I'm trying to build for my family. So if Melody she allowed them to take everything from her, which she did. Because like I said, everybody was telling me, oh, it's like you condone everything that Ariane is doing. No, I don't condone what she was doing at all. But what I'm saying is that, knowing the world, that I will sit there and lose everything that I have behind someone that wants my life. I'm not going to leave out my house. If anything, he's going to leave. They were saying that Melody, she went ahead and she left, and she went ahead and got an apartment. No, I got my kids. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to stay in my house, and you're going to go. So I don't understand, why would Melody do that? And when she
I
did
don't. Do you know?
leave, well, hold
Yeah,
on
go
one
ahead. Sorry.
second. And when she
Yeah.
did leave, it's like she left from out of the frying pan into the skillet, because then she started, as Martell was saying, ruining her reputation, going and getting all these whatever, and allegedly, and just getting it sucked out of her. I mean, it just was a totally mess once they leave. It was awful. What you have to say?
No, I was going to say, in terms of her leaving, okay, I know your perspective is that you wouldn't have left, he would have had to have left. To some degree, she made a decision to leave, and my understanding, or what's played out on social media, and what there's been indicators that he was refusing to leave. At one point, she wanted to leave, and it's almost as if he was trying to physically. Apparently, she went live when she was attempting to leave the house, and he didn't want her to leave. He was trying to prevent her to leave. So there may be other reasons that Mel has made the decision she's made, that it was the best place for her to leave the children rather than stay where she was, because potentially he could refuse to leave. And unless she's got evidence that something is going on, if they both own that property, and she was to call the authorities in that situation, she how could she get him out of the property? Her leaving, for me, given the negative situation that was going on, in my view, she needed to leave that situation. She needed a fresh start. She needed to shut down that negative energy so she could rebuild
And that's
herself.
another thing. This is another thing that I am so confused. Like I said, guys, help me to make this make sense. Okay, just say for a fact, what Melody had put out. Melody said that Martell treated her like a queen. He took care of home. Nothing was
Mm,
liking. All right, you find out that your husband was cheating, and you stayed in there for, you was married to, she said, I think 14 or 10 years. First they say 10, now I'm hearing 14 years. You stayed in that relationship for so long. Okay, now you leave out, but all you're doing is just really making it worse, because Martell said to Dr. Heavenly that Melody had not one but two abortions, and I'm going to say allegedly. And when she got back with him, she went ahead and got rid of him. And he was thinking in his head, if those were my kids, why did you abort them? And then to come back around and have another child. To me, it doesn't make no sense at all. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. Why would
but
Melody
I
do that?
think,
It doesn't
yeah,
make
but
no
I
sense
think
at all.
Yeah, but then but then if we use empathy, yeah, and have understanding as women, we know that women can go through emotional turmoil when they're in situations like that, and we know that we can also make irrational decisions based upon emotion. So if she made certain choices, it may be because of where she was at that point. We don't know the full extent to what was going on. We're aware that Melody has said out of her own mouth that she left for a period of time, she got her own apartment, and she came back at one point prior to the final separation where she's divorced. So
Mhm.
clearly there was a lot of back and forth between herself
Yes,
and
it
Martell.
was. Yes,
And
it
partially
was.
there was Martell, and he has admitted out of his own mouth um, that the relationship between him and Ariane was over for a period of time.
Mhm.
Ariane has also confirmed this, and then she's basically said he's come back to her at some point, still wanting them to have contact. So clearly, that relationship that he had with Ariane was at times on and off. And when it was off potentially, and we've seen it on the show where he's apologized to Mel when she was pregnant with Boss Baby. He bought her, a push gift. He was very apologetic, saying,
Yeah, I don't
apologizing for
consider
what you
that's a
put her
push
through.
gift at all.
Yeah. apologizing for what you put her
let me go
through.
ahead and I see one of my good friends in here, Queenie. Hi, Queenie. She said hi to chat also. She's speaking to you, Queenie. Thank you for joining my live. She always comes in and support me. I see Miss Ann is here. Also, Michelle Davis, Hot and Poppy. Guys, thank you for joining my live. Linda Gamble, thank you for joining my live, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D. Y'all might think so, but I'm not biased, okay? But unapologetic. So make sure you go and hit like, comment, and share these videos for more unapologetic content. I got Lilishi here helping me to go ahead and make this make sense. So you can go ahead and continue, Lily, because like I
I
said,
think
a lot of stuff,
someone in,
it
yes,
is just too much. This is a lot.
someone in the comment, I think they've made a valid point. Miss Anne, she said, "How important is it for us to understand the decisions of another person when we didn't walk in those shoes?" And that is the thing. Some of the decisions that Melody has made, we may not necessarily understand it,
Well, like
but
I
she would
said,
have made those. Yeah,
like I said, I cannot tell you anything unless I've been through it, and I've been through it on both sides. But like, is this right here was very, very toxic. It very, very toxic. And what made it so toxic is that they kept having babies, in the mix of all that chaos. That's what was very toxic to me because, you know, if I know that my husband is out there having an affair, no way in the world that I would sit there and just add more fuel to the fire. No way in the world I would just do that. And at the end of the day, the only ones that's going to get hurt, and that's those babies. And to
but
me,
Lady D,
it just
if
it
you're
was
married
messed
to,
up.
but Lady D, if you're married, let's put it into perspective. She's married to this person. So if and some people go into marriage with, you know, the element of it is for better or for worse, and there are some things we will try to overcome as a couple. So if they were actively, or Martell rather, if Melody was actively working to address the issues in her marriage, and Martell was presenting as if he was also on the same page and was going to make the changes necessarily for them to continue their marriage, why wouldn't they continue to do the things that married couples do, i.e., have children? Just like they were running a household, doing all the normal things, like running a business together, all the other things, why wouldn't having children be part of that? And at the end of the day,
Because
like I said,
just like I had said when you was on the panel the other day, I think it's more was a business because no way in the world that I could stay in this relationship for that long, knowing that my husband had a mistress. That was not even a side piece. That wasn't even a chick. That was an entire mistress. And even Ariane, she said that Melody went to her house several times, and when Melanie left Martell and went got an apartment, she went out there and she had met someone and she did what she had to do. And maybe Martell and Ariane had got closer. So when they got closer, and start maybe was planning on, having a family, then Melody, she realized that, hey, I need to pitch this show. So I'm going back and I'm gonna say a legend. I'm going back to my husband. And
but I think we're
once
placing a lot of responsibility on Melody at the end of the day, and I've said this
the
before.
reason why I put I'm saying about Melody is because
Mm.
when Melody left the home and she came back, she pitched the show. And that's what I'm holding Melody for, because now I'm looking at it, if your marriage was that toxic, why would you pitch a show knowing good and well nothing good was going to come out of it? Now, I would see, like, if, she, would just, go back to her husband, and or she divorced her husband and they just go about their separate way. But she went back to him, and the minute that she went back, she pitched a reality show. And they all came together as a business entrepreneurs, but they couldn't even get that off the ground because Melanie, it's like she had some kind of vendetta where she wanted to go and get back of Martell cheating on her, where she went ahead and threw a wrench in the entire show where they couldn't even come off the ground. So Did Melody had this plan that she was going to come on and expose her husband on the show? So all the stuff that happened is because Melody went ahead and she put it out. She brought it out to social media.
But I think but like I said,
So
I still think they're
so
placing a lot
that's
of.
why that's why I'm sitting there putting the blame, because like I said, we wouldn't know nothing that's going on in your business, in your household, if you wouldn't have put it out. You air it out, you are free game. I
But
wouldn't have never
my
did that.
but my thing is that she pitched the show. Martell did not need to participate in that. Neither did everybody else. There's a lot of other adults in there that can take responsibility for some of the issues that occurred when
What
Mel pitched the
adults? What
show.
adults? Because not to cut you off, but what adults?
Yeah,
Because all the ones that came on board with Melanie, they thought that they was coming together for business, just like they trying to put it together now. But Melanie wanted
but
to air out
but
her
also
personal business.
yeah, but then at the same time, even if she airs out her personal business, she doesn't have any control over exactly what the show are going to edit and put out there. They didn't
She
need
was
to
the
make this
executive
whole show.
producer.
They did.
Wasn't
They
she the executive producer?
Yeah, but
So you trying
although
to say she
she's
don't have no
she's
control?
no,
Y'all not letting
what I'm
Melanie take accountability of some of the stuff that she did.
no,
What I think
I
is
am.
that this is
Yeah.
what I think. And like I say,
Hmm.
we all have an opinion
Different
at the end of the day.
opinions. Yeah,
What I
yeah.
think that Melanie, she wanted to bank off of her pain. She took her pain for game, and that's what she wanted to do. And like they say, the love of money is the root of all evil. And just like I think you had said when you was on my panel last time, well, you're gonna put all this mess out, these kids on the internet watching all this stuff, but you're gonna go and at you're gonna go ahead and give have them to go to therapy, clean it up through therapy. No, these kids, they gonna remember this the rest of their life, because these kids are
Yeah,
at an
but what I
age
was
right
saying, but
now where all they have to
mm,
do now is turn on the internet, and they'll see all this trash that's on the internet that's coming from adults. Come on, guys, make it make
yeah,
sense.
but at the same time, like I said, whether there was a show or not, the children would have experienced, trauma or emotional difficulties around what they had seen. In addition
No,
to,
that's not true.
and
That's
if
not
we,
true. That's not
it
true. And
is
I can
true, it
speak
is
for that.
true,
No,
and I'll
I
give
can
you an
speak for that.
example.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
not true, because like I said, I've been through on both sides, okay?
yeah.
And my husband and I, now we've been married for 30 some years, and we've been through hell and back. And all three of my kids, my son right now, he went to HBCU. Now he set out, he wanted to go to the military. Tomorrow he signs up, he's going to be in the military. All my kids are very, very successful. I have one in the Marines, one, and now two in the Army. And we've been through hell with my husband, with my business. My husband has a business. I have a home health, and we went through hell with women seeing how successful, looking from the outside in. But like I said there and say, you know, no way in the world, everything that we have accomplished, everything that we have built up, if I would have allowed these women on the outside to take everything that we built and just slide in when it wasn't easy for me, then that's going to be a problem. So
And can I
yeah,
just respond to some of the?
my
Yeah,
husband and I, we went to therapy. Our kids, we went to therapy, and we
yeah.
did good. My kids are doing good. My son, he's married now. Beautiful, beautiful family. They are doing good. So, like I said, no way in the world that I give them excuses, because the reason why all
It's
this
not an.
stuff grew out, because they put it on social media, and they put it for the whole entire world to pick it apart, and that's real talk.
Okay, can I respond?
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So in terms of the breakdown of the relationship, what I was trying to say is that whether it's public or private, it has an impact on the children because, like I said before, the children have gone to living in a two-parent household now to having 50-50 split between parents. Okay, they now have an additional sibling. One of the children has, or the children have seen their father out with Ariane in public, it's affected them, and that's separate to the show. That has nothing to do with the show. That what's on social media, it's impacted the children. We've seen on the show some of the emotional impacts. We've seen Martell Jr. saying that he wanted Mel and Martell to reconcile, and how he was crying all the time. He was crying every night because of their separation. So we know it's impacted on the children. We had Mariah outside of she was in the care of Martell. Martell brought them to Melody's office to visit her, and when she was leaving, Mariah broke down hysterically because
Yeah, I
the
remember
children
that.
were finding it difficult to adjust to that separation.
I
So what
remember
I'm
that.
saying is, it would have had an emotional impact if those things were those are things that were playing out in private. That wasn't for the show. You can't
Hmm.
control children's emotions for a show. That was their reality. So it
Hmm.
was affecting them, whether it was being filmed or not. It was affecting them. At the end of the day, what I'm saying about Melody placing her children in therapy, at least she is trying to build some level of emotional resilience so that as the children grow and develop, it does not have an impact. And partially why your children, Lady D, have done success, they've become successful in adulthood, is because you put them in therapy. The difference is that you done that with your husband. Martell, we've seen that Melody and Martell tried to have therapy following their divorce, and Martell did not want to participate in that. He found it very difficult. And even there was even a scene where Melody is trying to comfort Martell because Martell was quite frustrated by his financial circumstances following the separation and him not being able to do certain things with his children anymore. And she tried to comfort him and he pushed her away. So she, at the end of the day, while she divorced him, at some point Melody was still trying to be amicable and co-parent and work with him
Okay, okay,
for
okay. Hold on,
yeah,
hold on, hold on, hold on, because you're going
yeah,
too fast for me. All
yeah,
right. What
yeah,
about when Melody she took one of her daughters, I think it was Mariah. Not Mariah, I think the middle one. I don't know what the middle one name. They call her Boss Baby. What about when Melody took her child to go and spy on her dad? When you remember on one episode where the child had said, I saw you, Dad. I saw you with another
yeah,
woman. Why would
yeah.
Melody, why would she inject her life, what she's going through with her husband, and inject it on her child? No way in the world that I would do that. No way in the
But that's
world
not
that
my
I would
understanding.
have.
My
And see, y'all don't talk about stuff like that.
No,
Y'all
but
don't
that I
talk
just
about
made
the part
reference
that,
to it.
hold on one second. Y'all don't
Yeah.
talk about the part that Melanie played. No way in the world that Melanie should have took her child out of the house to go and spy on her husband, knowing that he was out there cheating, knowing that he was with another woman. To me, all that stuff was just the build up for a storyline.
But my understanding,
That's
Lady
how I
D,
look
is that
at it. That's
so
exactly how
right,
I look
so
at it.
so so that I'm not aware of that. What I am aware of is that
Leah,
what I
Leah, yes.
what I am aware of is that she had been out with her daughter,
No,
and
no, no,
daughter
no,
had
no, no.
spotted.
She went to the
There was
restaurant
there
where
was
he was, and she spied
right.
out.
No,
I even made a video
no.
on that.
My understanding is that Melody had her daughter in the car, and they had both seen Martel out with having dinner with Ariane in a restaurant. And at that point, my understanding is that Melody and Martel were already separated.
Mhm.
Okay, they were no longer together. However, for her daughter, she found that overwhelming because she had seen her dad with another woman. And obviously, if your parents are always together and that's all you know, and you now see your dad, out with another woman, it's going to be upsetting for you. At the end of the day, I think a lot of responsibility is being placed on Melody to shield. It's almost as if people are expecting her to not only have to endure her husband cheating and manage all of these emotions in a certain way, which most of us wouldn't be able to manage given those circumstances, but it's like we're expecting her to also shield everyone. Not only is she supposed to shield her children, she's got to shield Martel, she's got to shield everyone around her. I
But
don't know
she
why there's
didn't.
so
She
much
didn't. She didn't
responsibility.
share. She didn't share. And the reason why she didn't, because she
Shield, I
pitched the
said,
show.
shield.
But
She's
she
shield. I
didn't
think
share.
we're
And the reason why she didn't shield, because she pitched it on a reality show. And that's where it's all blowing up, because we got everybody picking it apart, everybody whispering in our ears, everybody's talking. I believe that if Melody wasn't on that show, she most likely would have still been in a marriage. And the reason
no,
why I
I don't
say that,
believe that.
because she's been in it for 14 years, and out of the 14 years or 10 years,
Melody,
Martell was
Melody
out
is
there for 6 years, in and out, having an affair with the same woman.
Melody is a smart woman. So what I will say about that is, so if, all right, let's put it into a reality where there was no Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay, Melody is business savvy. There is no way the moment that Martel decided to produce a child with Ariane and she continues that pregnancy, one, potentially there's a wider impact for Melody because she would be still in a marriage to Martel and potentially if Ariane wanted to go for child support or anything like that, she then becomes culpable for that. Any kind of businesses that she has, there's potential claims to that. So I
Mhm.
don't think Martel, I don't, it's not Martel, I don't think Melody would have remained in the marriage, given the way
I
that
think she
this
would. I think she
relationship,
would. I
no,
th-
given
I
the way
really
the
do.
relationship was
Hold on,
playing
hold
out,
on
we've
one
got,
second. Hold on one
yeah,
second. I
yeah,
believe that she was because to me it was all about social climbing. I don't understand how these people, just like it was said with Tasha K and Funka Dinevo and Stormy, no way in the world that I can have a house that is so jacked up and go outside and pretend like nothing even happened. Where you got to go outside and pretend. To me, it's something is wrong with that picture. Something is wrong with that picture. So that's why I think that Mel would have stayed in that relationship if she had no other income. And I'm going to say allegedly, she would have stayed in that relationship because even Martell said that he was the breadwinner. He was the breadwinner.
but this,
And just
this
one
is,
more thing.
and this
Just
is what I'm going to, yeah,
let's
yeah.
go ahead and change this. Let's change it. What did Melody bring to the table before she met Martell? Did she bring anything to the table?
Of course she did. Of course
What
she
did
did.
she
So,
bring? What did she? What
and
she
I
did she
don't
brought?
think, I don't, and I'm just going
What
to say this.
just I'm asking a question. What did she brought to the
Okay.
table? Because
She
according
brought
to
who she
Martell,
is.
she
She
was the
brought,
breadwinner. He was the
right.
breadwinner. He the
So,
one
so
put
in
her
terms
on
of,
her foot.
right. So and that's Martel's view. And I'm sure if you interviewed Melanie, she would have a different perspective on how that all panned
What
out.
business do
We
she
are,
have? I've been searching. I'm
she,
trying to
my
find
understanding is that,
what did
my
she do?
understanding
She
is
was
that,
a school teacher. That's all I know.
right,
That they
right,
both was a
right.
school teacher,
But to
and
be,
Martell was the one that went out and he opened up a business, a lawn business, and
yeah,
was successful
and
with it with his brothers.
yeah.
Then he pulled his wife out, made her a CEO of their company, and that's how
Because
they
he knew
were
she was
able
smart.
to
So
get what
that's
they
it.
have to
So
get.
right. So can I respond to that? Can I respond to that?
Go ahead.
That's exactly what she brought to the table. If she didn't bring nothing to the table, he would have left her where she was. He knew what Melody was when he met her, and that is why he married her young. Melody was
They both
strong.
was
A
young.
strong. Hold,
The way
hold on a
you trying
moment.
to come on, come on, come on. I like this debate. Like I say, we have a right
Yeah,
to agree to
yeah,
disagree.
yeah,
So, like I said, at the end of the day, it's only opinion. We don't know these people from
yeah,
campaign. Okay, I know I don't.
yeah,
Okay, but
yeah.
what I'm sitting there saying, you cannot say that Martell, he preyed on her because she was young. I
I'm
can
not
say it
saying
the
no,
other way
no. I'm
around. That
saying that.
go ahead,
Okay.
go ahead.
I'm saying that clearly because you're saying, what did Melody bring to the table? At the end of the day, it's not for me to assess what
In the
Melody brought.
beginning.
Right, yeah. In the beginning of the relationship, it's not for me to assess. Clearly, Martel felt that she brought something to the table because he married her young and he married her quick. They didn't have a long courtship. They weren't together for years and years before they got married. So clearly, he saw something in Melody enough to make her his wife. Him going, her being a school teacher at such a young age and finishing university or college or whatever you want to call it is a big achievement. At the end of the day, being a teacher for me is a significant achievement to teach others. You're bringing something to the table. He went off and done his lawn mowing business, and then she stopped teaching, and they joined together to do property preservation. So clearly, him placing his wife in that position to help him run a business, he clearly felt she had the business acumen and brain enough to help him run a business. So clearly, Martell is the one that thought she brought something to the table. So she clearly did.
Absolutely, because that's what partners do. Iron sharpens
Right.
iron.
Yeah.
So, and the reason why I say this is because I was reading a lot of comments, and they were saying that Martell is a street boy. he didn't have nothing. And I'm reading right here where Miss Ann says she grew up surrounded by family who ran businesses. She worked in a bank as a teen and learned the ins and out of banking. And like I said, also you can look at it with Martell. Martell, he had got a scholarship and he went to HBCU, and that was great potential where he could have played pro. And most women, especially young girls in college, they want a star athlete. So that was a plus for Melody as well. And
She,
even
can
though
I
he
just say
didn't make
something?
it,
She
hold
helped
on,
to,
hold on, let me finish my
yeah,
point.
yeah,
Even though
yeah.
he didn't make it, they both finished school, they both got their degree, and they went into they went, teaching. So, like I said, they could have done good. It's just the fact that they allowed all this they flesh to sit there and get the best of them. That's just how I look at it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, in terms of Martel, having this scholarship and so forth, we've got to remember that Mel helped to tutor Martel through whilst he was at college, okay?
Yes, yes,
According to
yes.
the two of them,
We talked
okay?
about that
And
last
at the
week.
and at the end and at the end of the day, what we've got to look at is outcomes. If we look at the current situation of where Martel is in business and where Melody is in business, that's proof in the pudding of who brought what to the table, in my view. Because even though she's gone through all she's gone through, she has still been able to come out the other side with businesses intact, with parenting intact.
Absolutely, Miss Ann.
So clearly she's a resilient woman who is
Uh-huh.
intelligent and able to manifest and do put whatever is in her mind into a tangible plan and action it. So she brought a lot to the table.
Uh-huh.
And that's
Well,
partially why
not
I think
she,
that,
not she,
yeah.
not she. And see, the thing about it is that both of them, just like Miss Ann said, they did well. They had good partnership for years. They did good. It's just the thing about it is that they allowed the outsiders to sit there and tear it all down. That's exactly what
But
happened.
Miss Anne, but Lady D, can I just answer the question? Yeah,
Go ahead.
in terms of okay, so I'm hearing your perspective, and I think we have differing opinions. But if you are in a marriage with someone, okay, and they are persistently cheating and you're on this roller coaster ride, meaning that one moment the relationship seems is intact, what you were always doing, you're working together as a business, you've got a plan going ahead, you know, you divvy up the roles of who's going to care for the children, everything's going well, and whatever plan you had for your family is going ahead, whether that's your business or how you're going to raise your children, it's all going ahead. Then you learn your husband is cheating. He said he stops, you believe him, and the relationship continues. Then you find out that he's continuing to persistently cheat. Then, as time goes on, you're realizing that this relationship is continuing on and on with this third party. But then this third party is trying to insert themselves more into your life, calling your home number, asking to speak to your husband. When someone begins to insert themselves into a relationship like that and becomes disrespectful and then starts to go on social media about some of the stuff that's going on, how can you coexist in a relationship like that? You are going to feel very betrayed. And this is what I'm saying. I think some of the things that people are expecting from Melody, if they were in the same position, they would not be able to manage it. I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able
No,
to
I
manage
don't.
all
I
of
don't.
those
I don't think no
dynamics
one.
that
I
are
don't think
going
no
on.
one could because if you having another woman to come in and disrespect you, and your husband allowing that to happen, then I don't think that we should both be together, and I will go my separate ways, and I wouldn't stay in that relationship and allow it to happen. First of all, it would never happen to me because no woman is going to knock on my door and ask me about my husband or even call me. Trust me, it will be hell on high wheels. Trust me, I have a testimony. I
That's
have
what
a
I'm
story
saying. That
myself.
was,
But the thing about it is that where Melody went wrong is that when she left out that house, and when she came back into that house, she pitched the show. And that's where we are today, because no way in the world, if I was in a toxic relationship, I wouldn't have never pitched that show. So all of it is falling on Melanie. I'm putting it all on Melanie because your marriage was jacked up. why would you even come on fronting that you had a relationship, didn't have another child, knowing all that stuff was in your marriage, and then you pitched a show? To me, it sounds like somebody
But is
needs
that
some
that
help.
but is that not
Somebody
that
is
no?
sick in the head.
But is that not marriage? Marriage is not all perfect. So even if she pitched the show at that
No,
point, thinking
no,
that
that was
her
not
and
perfect. That was weird. That was
no, but what I'm
weird.
saying, but what I'm saying is that even if she pitched the show at that point, it's likely, given that she continues to have children with Marcel at that point, it is very likely that they had got to a point where he had said the relationship with Ariane was over, and we saw that play out on the show. On the actual show, he had he's having a conversation with someone whilst he's driving, and he clearly states that he had stopped they had stopped communicating for over 6 months, and then she called him out of the blue, and then Melody became aware of that call,
But
and
that
then the
didn't
whole
happen on the
situation.
show. What I'm saying is all that happened before she pitched the show.
No,
That
this is while the
happened
show was
before.
going on. This was
So
so.
what
What
you're
I'm saying
saying
is that
that
there were
Melody, so what you're saying that Ariane had a child during the filming of that show?
no. What I'm saying is that Martel basically said that Arion made contact with him after a 6 month period of there being no communication or no interaction between them. So what it shows is that there were at the time the show was going on initially, he had stopped seeing this person allegedly. Okay, that's what he's presented. So what I'm saying is that at that point, Melody may have, at the time the show was pitched, we don't know what Martel was saying in the background. Okay. And he went along with it. At the end of the day, she pitched the show. Martel could have said, I don't want to be participating in this. I don't want to go along with this because of what's going on in our marriage. So we can place responsibility on the two of them. We can't just put it all on Melody. They both went into this show, pitching the show, and the show got picked up. And at that point, in my view, and based on how what played out on the show, at some point things had dialed down between himself and Arion, and maybe at that point Mel thought, okay, we are moving forward. We have turned a point. Our relation, we're going to continue our marriage. We're going to continue with all the goals or things that we have lined up for our family. And maybe part of what was lined up, we don't know how long Martel and Melody had this idea of this show, or Melody had this idea of the show, and she potentially, these are things that they could have been speaking about prior to a lot of the things that played out for
It's
them.
just, it's just insane. I would love to read Melody's book because they say she have a book out, and I would definitely like to see what's in that book because this is a lot of stuff that really
Have you
does
seen
not
Miss
make
Anne's
sense.
comment? Have you seen Miss Anne's
She
comment?
said Melanie did not want to proceed with the show. Martell pursued her to continue with the show. The plan was to show how they overcame. Now, I heard a different story that Martell did not want it to show. They say Melanie was the one that pitched the show, and Martell really was blindsided.
I
So
think Miss Anne should join the discussion because she seems to know, she knows a lot of
she's welcome to come on if she wants
yeah,
to. Go ahead and
she
drop the
seems to
link.
know quite a bit more, maybe more than I do. But as far as
Uh-huh.
I'm concerned, yeah, she said Martel said that himself. So, and this is what I'm saying. At the end of the day, we can't put all of the responsibility on Melody. Martel was an adult himself. If he signed up to that show as well. He didn't have to. Knowing what was given at the end of the day, I placed more responsibility on Martel because given that he knew that he was going to continue that affair with Ariane regardless, and that he had been impregnating her along the way, why didn't he withdraw? Why didn't he say, no, I'm not going to do this show? He could have said that. He could have stood up and said that.
The only thing that I can say they was in it way deep, I guess they was in it, so they might as well go ahead and ride it all the way through. But I'm so glad now that they went ahead and revamp it, and now Melody, she can go and do whatever she need to do, and Martell do whatever he want to do. I don't know how they're gonna go ahead and work it out, how they gonna film with each other. What I'm hearing right now is that everybody mostly is working for the Scots. Destiny is working for
I
the
think what's going to
Scots.
happen. I think at the moment, and I think, do you know what it is with the Scots at the moment? For a long time, and this is just my opinion, for a long time the show has been very focused on Martell and Melody and what's happening in their marriage and the co-parenting issues and so forth. But on the backdrop of that, we've had the others, i.e., the Scots, Destiny, and so forth, all also kind of jumping on the bandwagon of trying to um, present Mel as this bad friend or whatever it may be. That's been their focus, and they've not really showcased their own lives or their own businesses. And there's been a lot of it at the last reunion. It was highlighted that, you know, you
Mhm,
guys are going to have to start bringing it. So now
mhm.
we are going to see a lot of well, now they're going to have to, if they want to keep their place in the show, they're going to have to. We've
Well,
already
I
seen
just
that
think that they're
Destiny.
gonna do good. They're gonna do good now because now, like I said, we got enough. I don't know about you, enough of the Holts, with all that drama. I got enough of it. I'm ready to go ahead and see some
Well,
positive
actually,
vibes. Let me
what
read
I
what
would, yeah.
Thrifty Girl Calf, she said, this is not weird. Yes, it is weird. Any person with all their brain cells would tell to save their marriage, especially if the man is manipulating you. Oh gosh, this is a lot. I'm not comfortable down here in the chat. Well, she said I'm not comfortable down here. If you want to come up, you could come up. She said she's not comfortable down here in the
No,
chat.
she's
Or
saying
more
she's more
comfortable.
comfortable because
Yeah,
we were
she's more
saying to come up.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. This is a good debate. Really good debate. Um,
I think in terms of the Scots now
glad I
showcasing more
took
of
a
their business.
Tylenol before I came on. Because
I think
I
I,
knew this right here is a touchy situation. I mean, and the reason why I think it's a touchy situation because we all can take a piece out of it. We can
yeah,
relate to something out of it.
exactly.
And that's why people is so invested in this. And this is I say before I get on live tonight, I'm going to take a Tylenol.
Yeah. It's a very emotive show, and I think all the different dynamics that are playing out. I think, do you know what, at the end of the day, a lot of people are team Mel because what they've seen from Melody is a lot of emotional resilience,
They can
and to
relate to
some
it. That's
extent,
why.
yeah, they can relate. It's relatable. She's emotionally resilient. But also I think for women who are watching this that have gone through similar situations, Melody is showing you how to thrive after a significant loss, the loss of a marriage, the loss of your family, the loss of your dreams. Because actually, when you marry someone and you have children with them, you will have a dream or a view or something or aim or goals for your family. As a result of Martell cheating and the family separating, some of the goals that Melody would have had for her own life have completely shifted. And she now has to carve out a new identity as a single mother, with 4 children and a divorcee. There's so many parts of her identity she has to develop. So people watching that will be quite inspired by it. I think she's quite an inspiring character, and I think that's kind of what gravitated me or
Who?
drew me to the show.
Melody? You
Oh
think
yeah,
Melody? Are you serious?
yeah, I think she's quite inspiring.
Oh my God, really? Hi,
Yeah, I think she's very
Thirsty Girl. How
inspiring.
are you doing?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great. How are
Hey,
you doing?
I,
Glad to come on board. Welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D. What you got?
hey, and wonderful show. I like
Thank
the
you.
conversation. You had made a statement stating that, in your opinion, that it was weird that Melody decided to go along with the show. And also, I guess, and you correct me if I'm wrong, stay in her marriage and also have a child. Now, I'm sure there are plenty of people uh, that's in the chat that may be in a relationship, whether it be marriage or just a companionship or whatever the case, that may be going through the same thing and may have decided not to leave their person or their husband or their wife, whatever the case, because of the person saying, "Hey, we're going to work this out." I'm not doing this or I'm not doing that. I want it to be us. I want us to be forever. Um, I don't think that's weird, and I just didn't like that. She did. She was the wife.
Mhm.
She was the wife, and so if she has her husband is telling her, "Hey, you know, I'll let her go. let's go ahead and do this. Let's do this show. Let's start over. Everybody has heard it, as far as in their own relationships. Most everyone has been cheated on, whether it was a boyfriend girlfriend relationship, marriage relationship. I'm not saying everybody has been cheated on, but
You're right. You're right. You're right.
the majority of people. But you
Hmm.
you don't just pack up and leave. Now some people do. Some people just can't take it. They say, "Hey, one time, that's it. I'm out." But the
Hmm.
majority of people, they're going to stay and try to make it work. Sometimes it's due to, hey, our families. How are we going to tell our families?
Hmm.
How are we going to tell our children? How are we going to tell our church? There's a lot that goes into, or how are we going to tell this executive producer, Carlos King, that we have committed to this show, but you over here on the other side of town still messing with this woman. And now it's going to be embarrassing to let him know, I don't want to do this. This man has not stopped doing what he told me he had stopped doing.
Hmm.
And so I don't think it's weird that she believed him. We all
The
have been guilty of that.
the part of where I say it's weird is because you coming out of a very toxic marriage, knowing that you had someone in your marriage for 6 whole years, and you guys both just you know according to Martell aborting kids, and so much baggage, so much hurt, so much pain, and to air it out on a
National.
reality show, and then you coming from a very very small town, and you have very very small babies. To me, that's where it becomes weird, because
I
that's embarrassing.
Yeah,
That's embarrassing.
very, but
So why would you want to put it on display for the entire world to go ahead and pick it apart? And
okay.
that's the part does not make sense to me.
Yes. Now, in my opinion, just putting myself in both of their shoes at that time, they both always wanted to build generational wealth for their children. And all of a sudden, you have the opportunity. Now, you have gone over here and you'd have messed it up. Now, we got to see how we can make this work. Either I'm out, or we're going to have to try to just go ahead and go forward. It came down to, hey, we have an opportunity, in my opinion, we have an opportunity to do something for these children, embarrassing or not, but this is the opportunity that may not come back around for us. Let's do this together. Maybe they decided together, and maybe he said one more time, I'll let it go. I'll let it go. Let's do this for our children. Because you have to remember, the other child was not in play at the time. So maybe he decided he wanted to make it right with her. Maybe he tried and he just could not. He has issues where I think he's always going to want another woman, regardless of who he is with.
So have you ever heard of any other woman that Martell, was with in a relationship with besides Ariane Curry?
You know, you
Is
have
there?
the you have the YouTube chatter, but that doesn't mean it's true. Like any of this, only thing we're going by is what is displayed on television. All of the rest is gossip. Unless it comes out of their mouths, we really
Mhm.
don't know. But yes, the gossip, the YouTube chatter, says yes, there were many. I think Ariane even said it. Melody said he had many women. They were Ariane wasn't the only one, and she's aware of that. But for some reason, they click, they can't leave each other alone. But back to, as far as him and Melody, at that time we have to realize he was her husband, she was his wife, and there was a bond there. And so they did everything they could to try to make it work until he couldn't make it work because he couldn't stay away from this person.
Mhm.
And so she had every right, to leave. But before she left, she ended up getting a baby. It was meant to be. It was God's plan. And to me, and when it's God's plan, it's not weird, in my opinion. It happened, and she had the baby, and she's been a blessing ever since. But that
Yeah,
still
her
doesn't
daughter's a blessing.
as
Yeah, absolutely.
a relationship. And that's just my opinion. The conversation is good. I
Mhm.
love that you are allowing people to have their opinion, because we all don't have to agree.
Yeah, of course. That's the uniqueness about it.
Yes, yes. So I don't like to hear one-sided stuff
And
anyway.
yeah, and I don't want no yes or person in it. I like a good
Yeah,
debate. And this is a good debate. And I believe that we're gonna be debating until this show come on.
and one other thing, if you don't mind, and then I will drop down. Because I'm not.
You don't have to drop down. Like I say, I usually stay on the hour. But yeah, this is kind of interesting. So I guess I might just go ahead and stay probably about 30 more minutes.
Oh,
But I usually just do my show for an hour. But this is intense.
yeah,
And the reason why this show is very intense is because we all can relate to it.
yeah,
And we all been through it. It may not, like I say, my story may not be like your story, but
yeah,
it's still the same. It's still leading to the same
yeah.
thing.
All sides, because son, and I hope my son never treats his wife like that. But
Yes, yes,
who's to say he won't?
yes,
I've given him the tools. The family has given him the tools to do right by anyone that he comes in contact with.
yes,
But and preferably, he would never go down that road. And I'm not gonna. Who knows? His mom could have taught him how. Right. We don't know.
yes.
But I was about to make this point.
Thank you, Queenie. She said this is a great conversation. Yeah, we're gonna stay on at least about 30 more minutes, and after that, yeah, I might just go ahead and do my show for 2 hours, see how long it's gonna last. Because girl, this is a lot. This
So
is a lot. These people, I mean, they have put Huntsville on the map.
yeah,
This is a tsunami in Huntsville. This is a lot.
I just wanted to say one more thing. I what on the first season, and I realized it after I rewatched it, and I listened to the comeback group, Melody, Martell, a little bit, and the rest of the couples. They may realize it now, but after rewatching it, they were never friends. I
So
watched out.
you don't think that the Scots and the Holts was friends?
No, I don't think any of them were friends.
Oh my God.
Because I rewatch it, they all talked about each other and made snide remarks behind each other's back. Some people have friendships like that, and they make up, and so maybe they thought they were friends, but I don't want a friend like that where my friend here saying something behind my back, and this friend here saying something behind my back. We're talking about each other. To me, that's not true friendship. Yeah,
Well,
they.
maybe the men was friends and the women was not. They was just,
I don't
I
even think
guess just
they were,
together because of the men was friends because they all went out. The men used to go out together.
because you go
That's
out.
how it all started anyway.
I don't think they were friends. I think they just had something in common that we won't
Uh-huh.
speak on. They had something in common. They were acquaintances. They probably thought of each other as friends. But if you talk behind each other's back and talk about something that someone has confided in you, no, that's not a friend. And they all did go back and rewatch every last one of them.
Uh-huh.
In professionals, they would say little things about each other, and I'm not. That's not to say they're bad people. I'm just saying, in my opinion, they were never friends.
What I think is that in the beginning, it all started the breakup with the comeback group when about what it was, the 40 some acres.
Takers.
Yeah, I think what happened was when they all was planning on buying it together, and Martell and Melody had said that the Scots had took too long and they went ahead and purchased it.
Well,
And I think that's how the friendship fell apart.
yes, but they had to do it because you can't buy the land and everybody be a owner. Now,
But they was all a part of the comeback group. They
yeah,
was
but if you don't have the money, you can't buy it.
mhm.
And from my understanding, is that they had meeting after meeting. Just rewatching the show, they had meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. It came to a point where they were afraid that somebody else was going to get this great deal. Now I don't know, based on only what we see, it sounds as if that the Scots and allegedly they didn't have the finance.
Mhm.
Whereas Melody and Martell, they did. They could go in with their credit and their, whatever else was needed to get the land. And so if they had that, the land is theirs,
Yeah.
regardless
And,
of what you want to do. But if you don't have the funds, you can't be an owner.
and that's where I think that's where it all started
That's
from
what,
that right there.
yes.
Doing business together,
Yeah.
and they feel that one was trying to underhand someone. So that's what I think had happened.
But I'm
But
going
what
to
do you think about, all right, after all that had happened, what do you think about when Melody marriage, had fell apart, how she went ahead, and I asked Lily the same question, how Melody went ahead and digged up, the mistress of Marcel and also brought Tisha's cousin. Do you think that that was a good idea for Melody to do something like that?
No, I don't think it was right. I think that she was hurt because I think back to the 47 acres, I think they were all angry. And I think Kimmy was the most angry based on me rewatching the show. She was the most angry
With
about
who? With who?
with Melody and Martell about
Okay.
it because they felt as if they had been done wrong. So back to your question, I think Melody did it out of hurt because I think they did not tell Melody about, the other woman because they were angry. And you know how it goes, like she's gonna do me like that. Let her find out by herself. I
Uh-huh.
It happened like that. I'm just looking at as far as real life.
So
How
you think that Tisha knew about the other woman and didn't tell Melody?
I think she knew bits and parts.
Hmm.
I don't think Marceau came home and told about it because I don't think she would have agreed with it.
She
But I
said
think
she wasn't. She said she wouldn't have agreed
I
to
think
it.
they have heard town gossip because I think they
Hmm.
mentioned that they had heard talk around town, but gossip it doesn't make it true. But they had heard about it. But I honestly believe that they were so angry with Melody, and they blame me. And if you go back and rewatch, they blame Melody about the 47 acres, and Melody told them to their face that she wanted them all to be in on it, but Martell said no.
Uh-huh.
He said, we're gonna buy it."
And you see, that's how look how it worked out. That Tisha end up getting it anyway. You see what I'm saying?
You know,
She already said that when she purchased the business from Martell, it was in the red, and now
well, she didn't
she's
get the
like a
whole
$1 million company
47.
now. $1 million business
Well,
now.
well, she didn't get the whole 40. She didn't get the 47 acres.
Hmm.
What business are you speaking of that she got? I know the business. She bought the business from him, but you just clear that up. Make what business are
Well,
you?
I'm talking about at the reunion. Remember, she's
Mm,
saying that she purchased something from Martell and it
yeah,
was in the red, and
but it wasn't the
she
land.
turned it into a multi-million-dollar business.
But it wasn't the
And
land.
he's trying to buy it back or want to be a part of it as well now.
It wasn't the 47 acres.
No, it wasn't a
Oh,
42nd acres. I
I want to
think it
make
was
sure.
something else that they had.
Okay. Yes. I mean, and fine. I mean, I'm I'm not putting any of them down because I don't know them personally. I'm just saying that I believe that they had a lot of anger because and I think that's normal for somebody to be
Oh, she
angry.
said that's Scots. Oh, so it was so Martell he owned Scots before the
Well,
Scots did?
well,
Because that's what I can't pronounce her name. Pacino rules. This is what she said right here. She says that we talking about what business that Martell had owned, and she said the Scots. So
It
I
was
guess
a
it's the
joint. It
Scots.
was a joint. It
yes.
was a joint business. The Scots and the Holts had a joint business, and basically after the separation, the Scots bought the business out.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
okay, I didn't
Melody
know that.
dissolved a lot. Melody dissolved a lot of her part
Yeah.
at the end of the marriage. She dissolved all of any kind of businesses she had with Martel and third parties.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, so that's the business that they're building up
Yeah.
now. So good and well, it's going to be a lot of claws and a lot of
Well,
fights.
well,
It's
they've had the business for a while, so it's nothing new. And now hopefully they will do well. But my thing is, don't downplay Melody. But she's doing well as and I want them all to do well. But we can't downplay her. She's doing well as well. She's magnificent. She is doing the thing, and
So
I
what
hope
do you
they
think
are.
about they saying now that everyone will be a part of the Scopes, even Destiny and maybe Martell might be a part of it because you remember last season he was trying to get, back in. So everybody is going to work for the Scots. Did you hear anything about that?
I didn't, but if they want the.
Destiny gonna be into real estate and all kinds of stuff. I was hearing.
I have
But
not heard
I'm
that.
gonna say allegedly because I did hear it in the chat room that Destiny is going to be a part of it. She's going to be working with the Scots, and also maybe Martell. He's going to get a part. I don't know if he's going to get shares in the business. I don't know, but he's will be back.
Well, the only
So,
thing I'll say about that is that maybe they would do better working under someone because they have not been good in business.
uh-huh,
But their standalone businesses that they've tried to do on their own. So maybe they would do better if the Scots were their bosses.
uh-huh.
As long as Melody don't go over there.
No, I don't think Melon
Okay.
because I also heard. I don't know if you heard this one as well. That Kimmy, because I was asking Lily didn't. She didn't hear anything about it. That Melody and Kimmy have fallen apart. They're not friends anymore.
Well,
So look like everybody now. It's just it's like everybody's Team Scots this season. That's what it looked like.
well, I guess
I
and
don't know if it's a super tease. That's why they're saying that. I don't know. Might
and
be
that's
a super
okay.
tease.
That's okay because I think they were have always been Team Scott in the last season or so, and
Uh-huh.
Melody was able to stand her on her own, even when she did not. They could be eating lunch, and they're still bringing her name up, speaking about her. So that says a lot, in my book, and I just think I wish them all well with their businesses, but like I said, we can't play Miss Mel, out because she's done well. She's doing good. So I think we should lift them all up. You
Yeah,
know,
well, absolutely. I just hope that they do get back together, where they can have that comeback group, but too much blood and too much
yeah,
bones been, it's just, I don't think that they would ever come back together, especially when they both sitting there pulling up each other dirt, especially at the reunion. Uh, that was very grimy, how they was just coming after each other marriage. So I don't even think that they can recover from that. I don't know.
yeah. And then you have to realize, and this goes on both sides, when you realize that someone despises you,
Hmm.
and this goes on either side, you got to cut them loose because
Absolutely.
they despise you. If they climb up on your coattail, either way, they're gonna stump you into the ground.
Absolutely.
I
And
feel
that, absolutely.
let them go. They will do well on their own. Melody can, continue to flourish in her many businesses, and just do the show.
Hmm.
Just do the show. They don't have to be hooked up at the hip to make the show work. Just get along like coworkers do when you're on your job. But other than that, just let's watch them work.
I just want to see how it's going to go ahead and play out, and I'm gonna be smack dab in the minute, in the middle of it. And the reason why, because it's like it's going to be two separate shows. Because I want to see how these people going to be able to, you know, come in each other face after all the stuff that they did to each other.
They can. They can.
You think in real life that could never be.
Well, it
If
can
you know
be.
that
We're gonna
someone is trying to sabotage your marriage and digging up dirt and paying people to come on a show, would you still be friends with that person?
if that's my job, we do it every day.
Wow.
We go to a corporate office, somebody may say something to us or say something about us. What we do, we go to work and clock in. And that's what they have to do. If they
Mm,
want to get paid, they don't
well, I
have to be friends.
guess
They'll never be friends again.
not at all.
But they can go and clock in, get the job done, and go ahead and do their separate endeavors.
Wow.
And that's just my opinion.
Wow. So what you think about the Scots, how they building trying to revamp the show? Do you think that they can possibly, put
Well,
Huntsville on the map?
well, I don't think the Scots are revamping the show. I think Carlos King is revamping the show. Own is
I'm
revamping.
talking about with the business, how they, starting off this, next week, building back, the original plan.
I don't think what they're doing is going to be any different than what anybody else is doing. They are working on their businesses, they're being successful. So I can't put them on the front line to say, hey, they're doing this and they're doing that, and they're going to put Huntsville on the map. They've already put Huntsville on the map with the show. So that I don't see them doing any different than what they all came together to do. Huntsville is already on the map.
Mhm.
And, you know,
Well,
for the show.
it sure ain't on. That's a map that I wouldn't even want to. I pass by Huntsville. I would even look twice towards Huntsville.
Well,
All
Huntsville
the
is
stuff
no.
that they have done, that was horrible.
Well, you got to realize Huntsville is a big place. Even though people try to play it small, I'm from,
Hmm.
and so Huntsville is it's a thriving city.
Okay.
Thriving city, wealthy city in some parts, and they are really thriving. And they are, look up the statistics. You know, they are as far as one of the top cities to live in. You know, if you want to live in affluent areas, so they were already on the map in that aspect. And with NASA and all the other things that go along with the engineering, all of that, they're on the map. You know
Hmm.
so it's not a small country town, but like any other city within a state, you have small country towns. But
Hmm.
Huntsville is not one of them.
Okay, now I'm finna tell you something that's gonna make everybody's blood pressure go up. Okay, so we got 15 more minutes. Okay,
Yes.
so what do you think about Martell? Allowing the child to come on the show and the mom, Ariane Curry.
And honestly, I don't think and I'll tell you why when I say it.
Hmm.
I don't think she has a place on the show because of the confusion, the friction, and all of the chaos and the negativity that her presence will bring. And if you're trying to move away from that, then why would you bring someone like that on here?
Okay, suppose that he say that that's whom he want to go ahead and spend his life with, and I know that's rumors. I don't believe
Yes.
it's true that they say that she's pregnant. So just say that she's pregnant,
Hmm.
and now that's a part of his storyline. So how would they be able to work around that? If he
Well,
decide that this is whom he want to spend his life with.
as Judge Judy always says on her court cases, you you chose her.
What's your name again? Because I don't see your name. Because I would love to see you back. What,
Girl.
what's your name again? Because
My
your
name is
name is not showing up.
Thrifty Girl.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna remember that.
Uh,
Okay, thrifty
and
girl.
that's my only thing. He can marry her. That is his choice to do. But she still brings negativity, chaos. You just go and look at her lives and how she continues to uh, badmouth the women of the show. And so why would they bring her?
Mm,
It's to cause problems.
And I think that's the reason why Martell and Colas had that talk, because you remember when Martell was saying that he was, pretty much thinking that he was out the door. So that's why he went ahead and most likely, you know, pitched the show, with Sheree, all this stuff that's going on and trying to move over to Real Housewives of Atlanta, because he thought that, he was pretty much going to be fired. He's going to get the axe. So, because he felt like, he won't be transparent. But if he's on that show, then you're going to see a lot of scenes with him and his son. And I want to see how that's going to go ahead and play out, because all that is a part of their story, their mess.
Well, she stated that if she can't come, her son won't come. So
Yeah, I did hear that part.
yeah, so more than likely the son won't be on there unless she changes her mind. But
Mhm.
that's her son. But she should not be allowed because she's going to bring confusion, uh,
Absolutely.
that the fans, because I don't know not one fan that I know of would want to look at her or watch her on television. I wouldn't,
Hmm.
not because that they had an affair, but because she has no respect, for who used to be his wife and the other wives on the show.
And another thing that I don't understand, when Ariane had said that um, when she was on Tasha K's show, where she said we was waiting for Ariane to go ahead and apologize, and she said, "No, I won't apologize unless she apologized to me as well." So that right there stuck in the back of my mind. Why would she say something like that? You have to be really arrogant, or something had to really happen for Ariane to say that she would never apologize to Melody unless Melody apologized to her. So I'm
Can
trying
I
to
just
figure out what
say
had
something?
happened. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think because I actually think um the way that Ariane presents herself on social media and some of the things that she said, even in that Tasha K interview, it's almost as if you would think that she was Martel's wife and Melody was the side chick. It's almost as if she believes that she's somehow equal or superior to Melody,
Sounds
and
like
Melody potentially owes her something. She made reference recently in a live within the last 2 months, making reference to the fact that Melody continued to have children. So she was of the opinion, why is woman knows that I'm with him, why she continued to be his wife to some extent, why she continued to have a family with this man. So I actually think that there's some level in her mind, she thinks that she's on the same level as Melody, and maybe part of that is the way that I think Martel has presented certain things to her to make her believe that, or think that she is of equal level to Melody. Maybe Martel said certain things to her, pillow talk, whatever, not when he's discussed what's been going on in his marriage with Melody. Maybe that's made her feel that she's better than Melody, or she does more for Martel than Melody.
I,
Hmm.
I agree.
Hmm. Yeah, because it's just a lot of unanswered questions. It's just so much behind. When it comes to those two, and that I don't know if you guys, some of you, saw the video, the live that I had did the other day when I played a little bit of Tasha K when she was trying to analyze it with who that was, Funky Deneva and Stormy, where they think that it was like more of a business, relationship, and Melody most likely had checked out long, long time ago, but the reason why she came back because she wanted to go ahead and pitch this show to um own network, and also what's her name, Ariane had said that Melody said that the producers, and I'm gonna say allegedly, had told her to go ahead and fake it. Do you believe that Ariane was telling the truth when, they told Melody and Martell to continue with the show, but just to go ahead and fake their storyline?
No, I don't believe that. I think Ariana said certain things to put herself on the pedestal and to
Hmm.
make herself more important, seem more important, and to make Melody and Martel's relationship seem irrelevant or fake, so that some way she can present herself as being, I don't know, Martel's true love or true interest, and he's only maintained this relationship with Melody because of the show that they were pitching.
Hmm.
That's what I think.
I Yes, yes, and I'm thinking about with her. She doesn't understand what it means to be married, or the bond that comes with marriage, and the commitment that comes with marriage, because she's never been married, or probably never been in a solid what would you call it, civil relationship. Because I think Melody, even if they were on the rocks, you have to be strategic. If you got a way to build, to assist you with building generational wealth for your children, you do it. Even if you know that you and your husband are going to divorce 6 months from then, if you have the opportunity to do it, I say do it.
Hmm.
Because this may be the only opportunity that you and your husband at the time would have. So let's just agree to say, hey, we're not doing good. This marriage is crazy. I'm just saying, if it went that way, but let's think of the children.
Hmm.
Let's get this money, flip this money, and build this wealth for our
Hmm.
children.
What you think about what Pacina ruled? I don't rules what she said. She said they faked enough for Melody to get pregnant two more times. I don't understand what she mean by the two more times.
Those are about, that is about pregnancies that Martell spewed out, rumors as far as I'm concerned, because for him to say that about his wife at the time, about other pregnancies that she may have had, and
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to even speak on it, because I always thought, if even if it's the truth, you can't get any lower than that about
Oh, tell me about that. Was
speaking.
that's horrible.
So but I will say, if you're the wife, you can have as many babies as you want. You can have 13 children if you want to, even if the marriage is bad. That's your business,
Uh-huh.
not the other woman's business, not the fans' business. I hear everybody saying, hear everyone is saying, she should have. Why did she have another baby? Why did she kept getting pregnant, or why did she stay? She's the wife. She can do whatever she wants to do until she get tired of being sick and tired. That's her right.
Uh-huh.
Now,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
look, we got 7 more minutes. What do you guys expect to happen next week? What are you looking for, when it comes to this revamp?
well, you have another guest speaking. I don't want to speak first. She can
Go
go ahead.
ahead, Lily.
Well, I'm hoping to see. I do want to see what's going to happen with the Scots because the last seasons we've just seen it's been very focused on the Holts and the separation and so forth. And I would like to see because now they're saying that the Scots are going to be showing more of their business. I want to see what that looks like, and I would hope to see that when we see them present their business or their family life, that Melody is not part of the subject matter. Considering Melody has been very clear on the last reunion that she's not going to be having friendships with them, so I don't expect them to really be talking about her. And I also want to see how this relationship with Martel and Sheree is going to play out on screen because for a long time people have said it's a fake storyline, and then recently Ariane has come out and confirmed. I don't even want to say confirmed, but she's also saying the same thing. So I want to see how that's going to even play out on screen now that everyone's already got it in their mind that it's a fake relationship. How will it even present on screen, and will it even be digestible now?
Hmm. What about you, Thrifty?
Okay, what I think now, I did hear on another content creator's channel. I won't name her, but I I heard Wanda say that it still will be messy. So I expect that. I expect that, but I also expect that they are going to make some changes because it did get very dark, and I don't think that the own network wants that.
Hmm.
So they have to bring some light there. So I think it's going to be some positive, to come along with it. But I still think that it's going to be messy. They're not going to go too far away from the messy because that is what brings the ratings, unfortunately.
Hmm.
But I do believe there will be light. It won't be as dark as it was last season.
Well, I hope not. I'm gonna be right there. It comes on April the 8th. So next week we're gonna be right there, and I'm gonna try to see if I can go ahead and do a review on it. But I'm just looking for them to sit there and just let go of the past and just push forward. And I would love to see, like you said, Huntsville, build up and they come back together and talk about things that's going to lift each other up, because it have a lot of negativity already, on these reality shows, and I'm ready for to see them to get past all the BS. And I thank you guys for joining my live, guys. This was very good. I mean, very, very good. And all I can say now, guys, when you come back on, make sure you take your Advils or whatever you need to take and put your seatbelt on because we gonna go for a ride. Because as you can see right here, the show have not even started yet, and we still, talking about it. So quite obvious. Like I said, this right here is going to be very, very intense. So, guys, thank you, guys. Thank you very, very much, all you guys that came on. And participate, even the ones that comment. Pacino Rule, thank you for joining my live. My girl Queenie always holding me down. Thank you very much. and also Belleville Jacks. Thank you for joining my live, guys. It's so many. So, guys, make sure you go ahead and hit like, comment, and share these videos for more unapologetic content. And like I said, in here, this is grown folks. We all grown folks, and we all have a right to our opinion, whether we like it or not. But the uniqueness about it is that at the end we can come to common ground, because thank God that is their business and not ours. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. I agree.
Right. But it was my business. I don't think I'll be able to put it out like that, man, because this right here is too much.
Oh,
This must be a scheme from Tide, huh? You remember Tide on
oh, yeah,
what that
dog.
is, Real Housewives of
Yeah.
Atlanta. Now, Real Housewives of Atlanta, that was my show, because I'm not really into all these reality shows. Once I'm in one, I'm gonna stick to it, okay? But Real Housewives of Atlanta, that was my show, the original cast.
Yeah.
That's what I used to go ahead and talk about. After left, that was it. I don't even really watch that show anymore. I was trying to go ahead and blog about SWV and Escape, but still drama. I can't take all that. So I'm gonna just go ahead and stick to Love and Marriage in Huntsville. We're gonna go ahead and dissect that, because this is a lot, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So guys, make sure y'all come and join my live. Y'all welcome to come on. Like I said, it's gonna get heated, because we are very passionate about, who we like. So I'm trying to stay, neutral, even though everybody thinking that I'm one sided, but I try to stay neutral. I'm team right. I just try to get to the bottom of it.
Exactly. All right. Y'all
Yes.
have a good night
All
then.
right. Good night. Good night,
Night.
Nene.
Good night.
Thrifty. Good night, guys.
Bye bye.
Huh? You need me to drop you? Okay. Good night, Lily. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. I have 2 more minutes. Go ahead and close it out again, guys. Thank you for joining my live. What this person say? I don't need nothing from you, Dusty. Oh my God, I guess. What did the hoax messed up? You definitely don't know what you're. Well, I don't even want to get into that, because we had a good night. This was a very good night show. I'm gonna go ahead and block this person. I don't even want to hear that, because no way in the world that I'm gonna let that person get to me. So, Queenie, when you gonna come on my live? I am waiting for you to come. You've been supporting me for a long time, but you never came up. She's saying good night, everyone. She's not answering my question. I'm waiting for Queenie to come up. I want to see you up here. I know this is not your cup of tea, but like I say, how it is when it comes to these reality shows. This is exactly where our people at, and we have to meet them where they are. Taking the foolish things of this world to go ahead and confound the wise. So, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. You all have a good night, and thank you, guys. Make sure you go ahead and hit like, comment, and share these videos for more unapologetic content. So, you all have a good night. God bless. Peace out. Oh, okay. She says she work all the time. Okay. All right then. Well, I'm just glad to just see you here. All right, love.